Hey, on this video, I'm going to share with you a model that creates a majority of the hurt feelings, the frustration, and the tension at work and at home. The next 3 minutes might just change your life. So one day, my son came storming into the house, pounded his way upstairs, and slammed his door. So I asked my wife what his deal was, and she said that in the car, they were talking about his 9th birthday party and the fact that they were going to go to a D-League basketball game with a number of his friends. And he immediately started talking about all of the food and candy and pizza and soda they were going to get at the game. Well, my wife corrected him and said we were going to have pizza and cake at home and they would just go to the game and watch the game. And he got very frustrated with this. So about this time, my dad calls me and he asked if any of the kids are home. So I relayed the story to him and told him that Davis was in no mindset to talk to him. So at this point, my dad says, "Do you mind if I ask you a couple questions?" And I knew in that moment he was about to drop some serious knowledge bombs on me. And here's what he asked. The first question my dad asked me was this: did Davis have any information ahead of time? Like, did he know there was a budget for the party? And my honest answer was, no, probably not. I didn't know there was a budget for the party. He then said, did Davis have any decision-making ability? As in, did he have a decision about how many kids were coming, or where food was going to be had, or what kind of food was going to be had? And again, I said, no, probably not. His mom had made those plans and we had loosely talked about it. And so my dad said this, and this is where the knowledge bomb was dropped. He said, it sounds like Davis is suffering the consequences, but had no information and no decision-making ability. So think about how this relates to you at work. How many times does a sales team sell something or promise something to a customer that then the support team has to deliver upon? In effect, they're the ones suffering from the consequences, but they had no information and no decision-making. Similarly, how many times has a spouse gone out and bought something that the other spouse wasn't aware of? And maybe it was a pretty good sized purchase. Again, no information, no decision making, but the consequence of having significantly less money in the account is a problem. This is where the majority of stress and tension and frustration comes in, both at work and at home. It is the idea of shared ownership. And to have shared ownership, it requires 3 things. The 3 things required for shared ownership are information, decision-making, and consequences. If you're in the habit of working with, living with, or raising other people, keep in mind the 3 things necessary for shared ownership. Number 1 is information. Who needs to know what in order to be informed? Number 2 is decision-making. Who will be involved in decision-making and simply providing input? And lastly, consequences. What will be the impact of the decisions made on all parties involved? Subscribe to the channel for more weekly tips on how to make your life bigger. Remember, no one has more power than you to change your life in a monumental way.